Hello everybody, my name is Ricardo, you know me as Richard, and this is Tough Talk, where I bring in topics that are happening right now in the world, and I'm bringing it right here for me to talk about it, so because it's kind of pissing me off. And obviously, what's more now that's happening in the news, other than Ferguson? Yeah, we all know about Ferguson, Michael Brown got killed, it's a tragedy by a cop, and it clearly has to be about race, and it clearly has to be about police brutality. Am I right? Because, when I say that these things bother me or that I get mad, there's a reason for that. Obviously, I don't get mad for no reason. But in this case, there's a few things that get me mad. Okay? I don't like how everybody just jumps on this wagon that, hey, guess what? This cop, yeah, he killed a black kid. It's obviously racist and and the cop is a racist and he abuses his power and whatever. It's clearly like there can't be any other thing and any other explanation that can possibly happen, right? And it's a kid. It's an 18-year-old, 300-pound, 6'4" little kid. Oh wait, no, he's not. He's a huge guy. Of course, he's still a teenager. He's 18. Every teenager kind of makes mistakes. And well, I don't know. I guess he decided to rob some cigars. Whatever, that's his fault, Life goes on, until like a few minutes later where the cops fucking just comes in out of nowhere and says, "Hey, freeze." He says no, some stuff happens, and everybody says something, they say, "Oh, Brown was on his knees saying, don't shoot with his hands up." And then he got shot 6 times. I don't know, that in itself is very sketchy. Don't you think? I mean, even a cop would think like, okay, look, this guy is on his knees saying, hey, don't shoot, you got me, just don't kill me, please. You honestly think that any guy would shoot a man like that? A kid, I'm sorry, a kid. We forgot who we're talking about. A little 18-year-old, 300-pound, 6'4" kid. But I digress. And the part that gets me mad, probably the most, is the fact that everybody's just out there protesting because it's clearly a big racial police brutality thing. And I know I'm going around in circles here, not really getting to the point, but I just really want to emphasize the part. Because, as of late, excuse me, we didn't really know the other side, right? Nobody knew Darren Wilson, and by the way, before I keep going, the police did a horrible job trying to, damage control. That was terrible. Because if you want to get a story out and you want to make it seem like, hey, look, guess what? Listen to this guy's story, which apparently he has a fractured eye socket because, I don't know, I guess he got an altercation with Michael Brown. That is his version of the events. And a friend who went on the radio to talk about this, and it was credible. I mean, CNN aired it. Take that as you will. It was credible enough for them to air it, to give it out there, and that's his version of the events. That these guys walking in the streets say, hey guys, look, get out of the street. You're gonna get run over. Somebody's gonna kill you, and then we're gonna have a problem. And then apparently they didn't, or they did. They got into an altercation. Michael went at the cop. He shoved him inside his vehicle to try to grab his gun. The gun goes off, and Michael and his friend just start running. That's when the guy, well, I forgot to say he punched him in the whole altercation in the vehicle, and that's how he got the fractured eye socket. And so he got out of the car, he pursued. He's like, "Hey, freeze!" Michael's like, "Oh, you're gonna shoot me? You don't have the balls to shoot me?" Whatever, taunting him. Then he just rushes at him, and obviously he didn't think he had the balls, so I guess he had nothing to worry about except he had. It's his job to protect, so including himself. Okay. Now, I do hate the fact that policemen are trained to shoot to kill. I don't understand that. If you shoot them in the knee, if you shoot them in the foot, they're not going to go anywhere. If you honestly think they're going to be able to run, then shoot the other one. But don't aim for the head. He got a headshot. I wanted to make a joke, but that seemed very insensitive. So, shooting once in the knee is something, that's to stop him, but don't shoot him 6 times aiming to kill. That's just dumb. That's horrible. There's no reason to ever be doing that. You know? And then of course, the second part that I hate, not as much as everybody just jumping on the bandwagon. I don't want to say like that because it makes it sound bad, but that's what everybody's kind of doing. It's just Michael Brown, he black, he died by a cop. Is he white? He is. Oh hell no. And I'm not trying to be stereotypical or anything, but that's, you know, that's just what's happening here. You know, we do have a race problem. We do have a police abuse problem. But you know what? What if this case is not either of those problems? It's kind of like the Trayvon Martin case, which, by the way, is another thing that I hate because everybody's saying it's the same thing. Which, if the officer's story is right, yeah, it is the same thing. If it isn't, it's not. You wanna know why? Zimmerman. He's a fucking watch, you know, the neighborhood watch. He's just supposed to look out, you know, call the cops if he has to. And guess what? He saw a suspicious looking guy walking around. He looked for him, had an altercation, he lost him. Trayvon decided, hey, I wanted to teach him a lesson. He went back, they fought, and 1 bullet was shot. 1 bullet. Just 1, not 6. Right? Not 6. 1 bullet. That's it. Oh, but he would have shot more if he didn't shoot him in the heart. No. Because that's what? 1 bullet is enough to stop you. You know, you're not going to be doing Olympic sprints after getting shot. Okay? And if the officer's events is true here, then it's the same thing. He's telling them to get off the street, as he should, because somebody's going to get into problems. You know, somebody's going to get run over, is going to complain or whatever. And he said no. They had an altercation. The only difference is that Michael Brown doesn't run away and then come back, you know. And so they had an altercation. And so what ends up happening is, hey, they fight. He gets out. A bullet is shot inside the cop car. And Michael decides to run away. He says, freeze. But no, he comes back. He didn't hide, escape and then come back. He just kind of ran away and then come back. And try to attack. And then, no. That's not gonna happen. You know, you're not gonna be able to do it that easily, and you got shot 6 times. And well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. That's the only way. The same thing is the same for both cases. If it's true that he just abuses power, then it's obviously not the same thing. Because Zimmerman was for self-defense, and this guy, if it's true, I'm not saying which one because we need to listen to both sides of the story, which is what is the point of having a trial. To hear both sides of the story, take into account the evidence, see what the eyewitnesses say, which, by the way, everybody's confused on that. Somebody says, oh, he got on his knees, say, no, don't shoot me, he got shot. Other people say, no, he ran at the officer. Nobody knows who to believe. I don't. Honestly. All these eyewitnesses, quote-unquote eyewitnesses, don't know what they're thinking. Some of them came later on after the altercation, after maybe the first shot that was shot inside the car. Nobody knows, and that's part of the problem. Nobody knows what's happened. It's not the same as Trayvon Martin, and if it is, then it's the cop. The cop's version of events is probably the same thing. Everybody's just jumping on this. It's probably not if the officer story of event. I really want to be clear so like we can see the scope of things. You know, this is the kind of stuff I think about, man. It's not about race unless it is, and for it to be the first story we heard about him abusing his power and just shooting a black kid for no reason, who was with his hands up on his knees or whatever, you know, then it's abuse of power. Then it might be a race issue. You know, the police didn't do a very good job, as I said, of trying to handle it, but you know what? The police are stupid sometimes. And you can debate a lot of times. So, that's what I got. You know? And we gotta just wait and see until this investigation is over with. I don't mind the protests. I don't mind all these things. What I do mind is everybody jumping to the conclusion that this was a race and police abuse issue when it might not be. That is kind of my problem. the same thing, with saying the Trayvon Martin's the same thing, when they kind of don't really know it. And so, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this Black Ops 2 gameplay wasn't very insensitive due to the topic, but this has been Real Talk. I'm Ricardo. You know me as Richard. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, home dogs.